And welcome back to the show this week. We've got Coach Adams with us. And, Coach, it feels good to bounce back against Two Rivers after a not-so-good game against Glenrose, but we can't look in the past completely. We have to look forward. We got homecoming this week, and homecoming games always mean more to people. I mean, typically every game means something, but this one just feels like it means more.
Yeah, it's homecoming is what it's called. People come back home and get to watch their family members walk across the field and enjoy a good time, get to reminisce on old times. And so, it's nice to have everybody come back home and enjoy that. So, it's our job to put on a show for those people and make sure we take care of business to get a win for them, So our kids are excited and ready to play Danville. And, homecoming can be a little bit of a distraction, so you have to fight those battles as well. But overall, we're really excited about this week and ready to play.
I mean, at least looking at how they've played so far, Danville is at least somewhat better than they were last year, at most like a lot better than they were last year. So what's your kind of message, not like scheme-wise, not like what plays you're going to run, but like what's your message like mentally to your guys to be like, hey, don't overlook these guys?
Well, hopefully we learned our lesson last week against Two Rivers. We don't need to be overlooking anybody. And Danville, Coach Crane has been there for a long time. He left for a little bit, and the program, slowed down. And now that he's back, they're going to be good again. It's just going to take him a little time, and he's already made them better, much better than they were last year. And he's just a great coach. I have a lot of respect for him and look up to him in a lot of ways. And so he's going to have them ready. So our guys can't overlook anything. It's going to be a good ball game Friday night. I know a lot of people don't think it will be and all that, but I'm prepared for a really good football game, and it's going to be a fight to the end.
So one of the things I noticed about last week that let Two Rivers keep it somewhat close against us was we were giving up a few big plays in the game that would let their offense get down the field a little bit. What do you want to see out of your defense to mitigate those big plays and let your offense get more time on the field?
Keep it as simple as possible, and I think we have a good game plan this week to do just that. And I think Two Rivers they have a good little offense, and they have a new coach as well, and he does a good job. And he threw a few things at us that we hadn't seen, and it kind of put us like deer in headlights. And then we also made some big time mistakes on fourth down, and that cost us. And other than that, I think this week just keeping it simple and playing with more confidence to help us play faster, and we got some young guys in the secondary, and I'm really excited about them playing. They're going to have some good experience, man. They've battled all year, and they've had some bad games, and they've had some good games. Like I said, the second half against Jessieville, I was really proud of and not all of them are young guys in the secondary, but we have a few. But I was really proud of how we stepped up, and our defensive back stepped up against Jessieville late, and they're going to have to Friday night as well. But I think just keeping things simple and letting them play fast is going to help this week.
I mean, it's been good to see your young running back stepping up like Aiden McKinney. You have Canton Dyer. But, Coach, do we think Nehemiah Norwood is going to be back this week? Do you think Angel Velasquez is going to be back this week, or is it too early to tell on those guys?
Oh, no, Nehemiah's back. He's fine. Angel has to sit a half. They ejected him in the second quarter against Two Rivers, so he'll sit the first two quarters according to the AAA rule. But Nehemiah's fine. And Aiden McKinney and Canton Dyer, I'll say this, I can't brag about them enough. We were having some trouble running the ball against Two Rivers on our right side, and we gave it to them. I think I ran 2 or 3 plays in the second half. That's it. And Canton was unselfish and blocked his butt off, and Aiden McKinney lowered his shoulders and was getting yards, and he was close to 200 yards rushing for us, and he did a really good job and was physical. And did a good job holding on to the football, and we ran to our sideline the whole fourth quarter, just ran to our sideline, and which was the left side of our offensive line. And so I was real proud of those guys for stepping up. Two sophomores getting a lot of experience and playing unselfish football, and I was real proud to see that.
Who are some guys you're looking to see step up or have a big performance this week? Not that like who's the sophomores and juniors who are not gotten a lot of chances you want to see step up? Basically, is what I'm asking.
Well, the guys that play have all gotten a lot of chances, but I want to see our offensive line step up in particular, and our secondary step up. Colton Mabry is a very talented young man, and I think it's time for him to have a breakaway game on both sides of the ball. Isaac Tillery, it's his first year playing football, and he's done a lot of great things for us, and it's time for him. Those guys in our secondary and at our slot or Z or wingback, I guess I should call it, that position, to really have a standout game, and I think they will. But my biggest challenge this week is for our offensive line to dominate, because last year against Danville, we struggled in the first half against them with our offensive line, and so we got to come out of the gate. We need to have a complete game with them this week. But I expect all of them to have a big game. Nehemiah, I set him out last week, and I think he's one of those kids. He does not want to sit out. He was not happy that I set him out to rest, to try to give him some recovery. His old knee swole up, and he's a tough kid. He don't want to sit out. He don't want us to tell him he can't play. And so we finally got that swelling down, and everything was fine, and he looks great. He looked great last week. I just wanted to give him a game of, a little week of rest, and he's looked great in practice all week, full speed, man, and I'm super happy about that. He's just a tough kid, and it's about time for him to have a breakaway game as well. So,
looking back toward Danville a little bit, what's the unit you most think we need to watch out for? Are there certain players on Danville that your team needs to watch out for and try and contain a little bit to ensure a victory this week?
Yeah, absolutely. They have a really good running back, number 8. He's a bigger kid. He runs tough. He's going to run through smoke, and I like that kid a lot. We're watching film. He plays linebacker as well. He's their best linebacker. And number 15 is the coach's son. He's a young player for him, but he's their quarterback, and he's very heady, smart kid. He makes good decisions, and he can run a little bit as well. And those two kids really make a lot of plays on both sides of the ball, and he plays 15 plays safety, but he can put him at linebacker at any point, and he's going to do a good job wherever he's on the field. They have some pretty good receivers but for the most part, we're going to have to stop those two kids to give us a chance to win, in my opinion. And for the offensive side of the ball, his D line could cause us some issues, matchup wise. They have some big old boys, and you'll see Friday night. But they have a good team. They're well coached, and like I said, he's got them going in the right direction. That's for sure, and it's going to be a good ball game. But yeah, those two kids, in my opinion, are the best two players on both sides of the ball, and so those guys, if we stop them, I think we have a chance to win. So.
All right, so one more question, and we're actually going to talk about junior high a little bit. I mean, junior high just got, I believe, what's their first win of the season against Two Rivers, and does that feel good to have your junior high team get a win and see if they can build off some? And secondly, you hope to see that they can build off some momentum in these final few weeks of the season to see if they can rattle off a few wins to close the year?
Yeah, that's important. I mean, we obviously want to win, but the one thing about junior high that I have been proud of, we're tough. So, and we were missing a big piece. Kane Lisenby broke his arm in the previous game, and so he's a big piece of our offense. We're young in junior high, play a lot of 8th graders, and so we play 9th graders too. Don't get me wrong, it's a good balance, but we have a lot of 8th graders that are stepping up and being tough. Hayden Hammonds, I love the way that kid runs the football. He's going to get yardage. And Jackson, another little running back we have, physical little guy, quick, shifty kid. He plays on both sides of the ball. Those are kind of kids that you don't have to get onto for effort. They're always going to hustle. It's just, as a high school coach, and watching my junior high, I kind of let my coaches coach in junior high and take care of that. And I watch and make sure that they're doing the right things, fundamentally, and they're tough, and that they're being physical. And the last couple games we hadn't been as physical as we have been early in the year, but we're working on that in practice, making them stick their nose up in there and make sure that they're playing the right technique. I think sometimes with the younger kids, they're a little slower reacting because they don't want to mess up and displease the coach. And I'm just like, hey guys, go 100 miles an hour. It needs to be like muscle memory. But anyway, be a ball player. But yeah, we're excited to get that win, and we hope to build off of it. But I told the junior high coach they need to be ready when they get into senior high. They need to know so many plays. They need to know how to tackle, how to play technique on the D line. What keys they're reading at linebacker, and what a base block is, what a pull is, what a down block is, what a hook is, all that stuff. So it's a learning process, and our numbers are kind of low in junior high, and so really 7 through 9 is what I look at, and 7 through 9 we have around 34, 35 kids. So that's the same number we have in senior high. So that's a good number of kids when you're looking at the senior high picture. So, but yeah, I'm excited for our junior high to hopefully take that momentum into the rest of the year, and then those ninth graders will move up to senior high and step up for next year's team. So.
Thank you for your time and insights, Coach Adams, and good luck this week as we hopefully take care of business against Danville. And when we come back, we'll be back with Coach Shane Hartsell here, and we will discuss the 3A4 conference and the games this week to watch out for. We'll be back right after this.
Do you have some land you need cleared to build on? Call Hartsell Farms and Excavating. Do you need some excavation done on your property? Call Hartsell's Farms and Excavating. Hartsell's Farms and Excavating, LLC, is a veteran-owned and operated company with 20-plus years of experience in the construction business. Owner Vernon Hartsell will be happy to see how he and his crew can meet your needs. Free estimates can be given by calling number 870-210-0204. Again, that number is 870-210-0204. Thank you for your business.
And welcome back to the show today, as we got Coach Hartsell with us again, as always. And, well, Coach, I think it's about time we take a look at the standings again, because we're now getting to the time of season where that is starting to get important. You got Gwen Rose and Paris in a two-way tie for first place, both 3-0 in conference. You have us and Cutter tied for third place in conference, both of us at 2-1 in conference play. You have Danville and Jessieville tied for fifth place at 1-2 in conference. And then you have Two Rivers and Perryville at a tie for last in conference, and both teams are still seeking their first in-conference game. So, you've got a relatively balanced out conference. You have, there's no team that's really out of it yet in the playoff chase, except maybe for Perryville and Two Rivers. But who knows? If they go on a run to end the year, only thing that counts is conference record in the playoff chase. That's all that matters for it. So, any team, if they go on a run right now or they hit a cold streak, that either determines their playoff chance or not. So, if you were the head coach of one of these teams in the conference, what would you be stressing to your team?
Well, I think you do have to be playing your best football come these last 3 weeks of the regular season. You need to be hitting on all cylinders. It's to that point where, all teams across the conference, they're going to have some bruises and cuts and bruises and things like that. And and but you need to have your team healthy, and that's going to be a key. Is who is going to be healthy, for these next 3 weeks. Like you said, anybody can have a run in the conference. You definitely want to be playing your best football here within this next 3 weeks. From this standpoint, like you said, maybe there's no teams that are just totally out of it.
You've got some teams bordering on it,
right,
but not gone yet.
Right, no. And, one of those teams, like you were talking, the bottom tier of the conference, one of those 2 teams could go on a little bit of a run and definitely make an impact and make it difficult.
Play spoiler.
Right, play spoiler to the top 4 or 5 in the conference. So, this is going to be crucial these next 3 weeks. And of course, you can only play it 1 game at a time. This week's going to be a huge week coming up here at Magnet Cove, as well as across the conference.
Now, we'll discuss one more thing before we get to the Panthers game this week. But, if you look back to the beginning of the season, both of us kind of were saying how, there's going to be, some surprises this year, and it's really going to be just a fist fight for the top 4, I believe 4 or 5 spots in conference give you a state playoff appearance.
Yes.
So, you've just got that right now. You've got Gwenrose and Paris battling for who gets 1 and who gets 2, which is huge for state playoffs because that can decide when you actually go on the road to play somebody, and we all know how important home field advantage is. But, outside of those 2 who have, for the most part, punched their ticket to the state playoffs already in this season, you've got Magnet Cove who needs to just kind of lock it down somewhat, I'd say. You
right.
need to beat some teams, but if you can play to your potential, you've got it. Same thing with Cutter right now. But you've got some teams out there like Danville, like Jesseville, and even Perryville and Two Rivers who are still going to be fighting for those playoff spots because, as we've said, nobody's out of it yet. So honestly, from where I'm looking at it, these next few weeks are going to be chaos because you've got a crucial game for Magnet and Danville coming up because at least Danville needs to win this game and win the next 2 games because this is arguably the easiest part of their schedule.
Right.
And then they've got to go to end the year. I think it's either Paris or Gwenrose to end the year. So, they've got a very tough game to end the year. So if you win these next 3 games for Danville, you could punch your ticket to the state playoffs. So you just have a bunch of teams needing to go on a run. And only so many of them get here. So what happens from here?
Well, I think the big factor, like we said, is going to be what teams are healthy and what teams are playing their best football right now. You've got to be playing really sound football, being able to move the ball on offense, not turning it over, taking care of it, and on defense, being able to stop people, stop the run, and not give up huge plays that can come back and hurt you. So those are the things that drive coaches crazy is, not playing their best or to their potential because of mistakes or turnovers and things of that nature.
And now going back, or moving forward and going back somewhat at the same time, looking back to what Coach Adams told me in the interview earlier, you've got your running back, Nehemiah Norwood, back for this next week, which is huge for Magnet. You're starting to get your running back duo back. Angel Velasquez will be sitting out the first half due to being kicked out of the game against Two Rivers. But, now you've got your backs back, you got them healthy, and you've even got Aiden McKinney, the 10th grader, who is stepping up huge right here. Coach Adams, I believe, told me that he had 200 yards rushing, and you've even got Canton Dyer, who's able to break off a huge play right here. So it seems to me that Magnet Cove's running back room, which is the lifeblood of this team, if you don't have running backs at Magnet Cove, you don't have an offense because you just run the ball mostly at Magnet Cove. You've just got a huge chance to catch fire with this running back room, and you've got a perfect chance to prove it against Danville. So, it seems to me it's like the line and like the offensive line needs to kind of hit their stride right here. Not that they've been playing bad, I'm not saying that. But you've just got to have your offensive line step up to give these guys a chance. But then on the other side of the ball, you need defense to play to their potential, which they've been kind of hit or miss relatively. They had a great game against Gurdon, holding them to a shutout. Right. And then there's times where you've given up 36 points to Fordyce. You've given up something like 48 points to Poe, and you've given up 55 to Gwenrose. So, I mean, we're kind of waiting here for the defense to kind of hit their stride this year, wouldn't you say, Coach?
Yeah, it's you definitely have got to be able to stop people. Whether that be, of course, most coaches will tell you, you've got to stop the run first, but you also have got to limit the big plays. And I think that's something that in order for Magnet to go far in these next 3 weeks, that they're going to have to limit those big plays, and hopefully the defense can produce some turnovers, which can therefore turn into points for their offense. As you said, the running back room is pretty solid. You're getting everyone healthy with Nehemiah Norwood, and especially with the way Aiden McKinney and Dyer played the other night. They're showing some signs. So you've got a fresh set of legs in there just about any time you want it. So that does make a difference, especially when you're an offense like Magnet Cove that likes to pound the ball and keep running it and keep pounding it and hopefully wear the defense out.
All right, so moving on along to another point here, you've got a Danville team who is significantly better than last year. I mean, you've got their coach who was coaching there forever back, and Coach Crane, I believe. And
yes, great coach.
I mean, he's turning this team around already. He's got a pretty good defensive line who Magnet Cove's offense is going to need to match up on.
Right.
And you've also got a running back quarterback duo in the backfield that's pretty good. So, I mean, it seems to me that you're having somewhat of a repeat of the Poen game right here, and this is kind of a chance for Magnet Cove to redeem themselves and giving up so many points to Poen, and in some ways get themselves massive amounts of momentum before they're going into a 1-2 punch of Paris and Cutter back-to-back.
Right. Well, I can see that, I think one thing Coach Adams has done a good job of, especially this week, is homecoming at Magnet Cove, and he's got his guys locked in. They know where their focus needs to be, and that's on that football game. Go out and enjoy the festivities when that's time, but when it's time to practice and it's time to play,
lock in.
You got to lock in. I mean, you're at that point in that juncture in the season, so I feel like they will be ready to play the Panthers. Danville, I mean, again, they're not out of it. They're not coming down here to just to lose for sure. They've got to be coming in thinking, hey, we got a chance, opportunity to
fight for a playoff spot.
Right, revive ourselves for the last part of the season and get that playoff spot.
Moving on along to our games of the week, we've got so we've gotten a major game in 2A. We've got Hector and Mount Ida this week. Hector 6-0, having beaten two teams in our conference, actually. They have beaten, I believe, Danville and Perryville. I mean, you've got a really good Hector team there, but you've also got a really good Mount Ida team. Their only loss, I believe, being to Junction City. So, I mean, you've just got really good two teams right there going into Mount Ida. So, I mean, this has 2A playoff implications. I mean, I know we're in 3A, but this is huge for 2A.
Absolutely. Mount Ida is a great team. Very physical. They don't do anything fancy. Coach White does a good job out there. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the split back veer, and they're going to keep pounding the ball. And, the old saying, the 3 yards in the cloud of dust, that is definitely something that Mount Ida lives by. they hope, and that their purpose is to wear out a defense and just control the clock by being able to move the ball, 2-3 yards per carry.
And then, you've got, moving on to the next game, you've got Arkadelphia against Haskell Harmony Grove. And Arkadelphia, you've already got a loss in conference play to Nashville. You've got a Malvern team who's been able to revive themselves in conference play. So, this seems like a huge game for Arkadelphia going up against a Haskell team who is also a one-loss team. You got a chance for both of those teams, to kind of separate themselves in the 4A7. And, just what does this mean for, later in the season? Because, at the end of the game, you've always got the Washita River Rumble.
Right. You ask anyone, and it's these next 3 weeks are going to be crucial. And the 4A7 is no exception. You've got Arkadelphia, again, like you said, who is a one-loss team. They lost to Nashville. You got Nashville that's playing really well. They have Ashdown, I believe, this week. And so, and then you got Malvern that's starting to play really well. So you could honestly see within the next 3 weeks, people. It's going to be huge to take it one game at a time and to win, to come up with a W each week. If you do that, then you position yourself pretty well to finish at least in the top 3 of that conference. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. It's a very competitive conference, though, for sure.
Yeah, if Arkadelphia wins this game and goes and beats Malvern, then I believe you'd have I believe there's also one other team that has either 0 or 1 losses. You could have a 3-way tie for first and just have to go down to tiebreakers. It just is massive. You had people before the season thinking Arkadelphia was going to win the league almost certainly.
Right.
And now you've got Arkadelphia fighting for their lives. So, it's just kind of crazy how the tables turn halfway through the season.
Yeah. The thing about it is, that's why we call preseason is because, you can make all the predictions you want, but until you actually line up and play each other and see what happens and who may be playing well at the first part of the season may not be playing as well the mid to second part of the season because of injury or whatever else.
Just take a look at Florida.
Right. So for whatever reason, you've got to factor that in. So again, I don't care what level, 2A to 7A, you want to be playing your best football at this point in the season because the next 3 weeks are going to determine kind of the ranking of these conferences and who's going to be sitting at a 1 seed versus maybe who's going to be sitting at a 3 seed or a 4 seed, and the difference between that is
who you have to play soon.
Yeah, you're either going to play at home or you're going to go somewhere and play on the road.
And it matters when you play them.
Exactly. So, those are all factors that are going to factor in here in these conferences.
One last game before we get to Magnet. We've got Bentonville against Fayetteville. Fayetteville so far 3-3. Bentonville currently in the lead in that conference. Bentonville already having some impressive wins this year against Tulsa Union.
Right.
You've just got the fact that this could decide that conference as well. You have so many games at this point in the year that are just conference deciding. Top 10 matchup in the 7A according to the Hooten's rankings. This is Hooten's game of the week for 7A, and it has all the makings of it.
It is. It should be a great game. Don't let that 3-3 record fool you with Fayetteville. They're still Fayetteville, and they're a good team. Again, taking nothing away from Bentonville because Bentonville, rightfully so, has had a great season thus far. That should be a superb matchup this coming Friday. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out. I think both teams are well coached. Both teams have great players on each side, so it should be interesting to see who comes out and kind of takes that next step, to
And
see.
shakes up the 7A.
Exactly. So.
And then you've got your final game of the week. You got Magnet Cove's homecoming against Danville. Finally, the Panthers back at home after a 2-week road stand. I mean, you got the Panthers running game back, as you mentioned. So right now, at least to me, the key seems to be just now you've got your guys back, show what you can do.
Exactly. You've got to still play the game. And again, simple things, staying on your blocks. Turnovers, yeah. Limiting your turnovers on offense and trying to create turnovers on defense. That can change the whole dimension of the game, because if you can get a couple of turnovers and have some scoring opportunities off of those turnovers, that makes it it makes it better for either team. So it's going to be a good game. Again, I like where this team is sitting right now, as far as I think they're locked in for this week. They understand what's in front of them, what they need to do, and it's just, hey, go out Friday night and they've just got to execute it. That's it.
So that's what we'll leave y'all here this week. You got Magnet Cove and their crucial game this week against Danville. You've got postseason implications already on the line, and you've got seeding on the line, but there's nothing more for us to say. We've got to have our boys play the game. We've got to have them play it well. And have a great rest of the week. PPRD.